to this player I'm going to talk about. Guys, I want to know your thoughts about this guy, Gabriel Martinelli. Now, some Arsenal fans I spoke to yesterday were kind of on board with. They were probably thinking Trossard would probably start before or instead of Martinelli. I wasn't displeased to see Martinelli play because I think what Mikel, I assume, is trying to do is to, how can I put this? Giving enough room for these guys to go out and show them and say, you know what? I should be playing in the first team. I thought in the first half, I thought he started brightly. And the second half, there's that saying, isn't there? It was chalk and cheese. And to be fair, it was. I thought the first half he was in the game. I thought he tried to make some runs going down the byline and combining with Rice a couple of times with Zinchenko. But the second half, I thought he was non-existent. I thought he absolutely was. I think what hasn't helped him is obviously his injuries over his time at Arsenal, but he's come through that. I think what hasn't helped also is if we can address that side where, for example, if Timber starts at left back or more so Calafiore, you bring in Moreno, I'm hoping you'll see a better Martinelli. Because maybe you might have a fullback that goes on the outside of him. You might have a fullback that will take away the opposition fullbacks to give Martinelli more room to move into. I'm hoping that will help Martinelli more because obviously Saka has that on the right-hand side with Odegaard and Ben White. Martinelli doesn't have that. But what I will say about Martinelli, because I'm not going to keep going on for much longer because I want to go home and enjoy. I want to go home. I want to enjoy the rest of my Sunday and watch Super Sunday at 10, Matchday Sunday at 10, and also do some Sunday house chores. How exciting! But let me not digress. I think the thing for me with Martinelli is, I don't know if you guys would agree or not, is we have to. I think us as fans, there's that threshold with players, young players in inverted commas, where it crosses over from being you're not a young player anymore. You're a first team player who's a senior player and you need to deliver more. I think it's coming to that. I think it's probably at that point with Martinelli, to be honest with you. He's 22, 23. I think now he's been at Arsenal long enough now to start being more consistent. I don't think there's any more excuses anymore. And I think the biggest thing for me, which is going to help his consistency, and I've always said this for Gabriel Martinelli, this is something not new that I'm saying with him, is for me, a few years ago, it was about him scoring more goals. He did that. I think the season he got 15 Premier League goals, was it? And 5 assists. The assist column for me is an issue. I'll tell you why it's an issue. For a player that plays in his position, he should have a lot more assists. I'd actually go as far to say he should have double figures for goals and assists in his position. What's stopping him doing that is his decision making in the final third. And sometimes for me, it's tunnel vision when he plays. And when I mean tunnel vision, be aware of your surroundings and get your head up. He plays with that. And I tell you the example I said last season with him when we played Manchester United away, we won 1-0 with a Trossard goal. He got the ball from Martin Odegaard in the second half of that game at Old Trafford, and he went down a run. He went on a run on the left on Man United's right hand side of the pitch, where he actually got a shot off. He got tipped over the bar by Onana. But my issue with that was that not once when he received that ball from Martin Odegaard did he get his head up and look around and see he was in a better position. And he still does that now. That needs to be eradicated out of his game. That's something he needs to take on board. Yes, Mikel Arteta can get him on a training pitch and work with him and etc. But your in-game management, when you're the player on the pitch and playing, you have to make better decisions. People talk about, and I mentioned this when we played Liverpool 2 seasons ago at Anfield, when we drew 2-2, and we had the Michael Thomas moment when he's got the ball to put Saka through. You have to make that pass. It's not a difficult pass, and that for me is the thing lacking with Martinelli, and it has been for 2/3 seasons now. That's my own personal assessment. And those little tweaks and those things have to get better this season, because you've got Trossard, who's a finisher. You've got Saka, who will get double figures in goals and assists. Martin Odegaard will come up with I think double figures in goals and assists as well. And when you bring in the likes of Moreno and obviously when it does happen, and obviously Calafiore is here, hopefully that will help Martinelli. But he's got to take that on board and move forward going forward. Those things have to happen in his game for him to elevate and be better. He's not a kid anymore. You're a first team senior player who's been in the team now for a good 3 years now. You're going to have to step up, and you need to step up because there's going to be players coming after your shirt. And secondly, we're going after a juggernaut in Manchester City where we're not going to get second chances. We have to be ruthless. And he plays in a position in the side where we're relying on you to put numbers and put goals and put defenders on their backsides. He has to be doing that now. So that's my thoughts about Martinelli. I don't know what you guys think in the chat or when you watch it back, but that's for me where he has to improve. It's the attention to detail and that final moments and just getting your head up and looking around in terms of player awareness. That has to be the step going forward this season.